The senator from Dorchester has been recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I'm going to be very brief because I know we've got a lot to do today. I just want to take this just a couple of moments to talk about energy and the energy policy of South Carolina. Really, what I believe is really the lack of an energy policy. Now, I appreciate the comments from Senator from Beaufort and made the case, I think, that we do have or we're getting to an energy policy. Senator from Lexington in the exchange that they had there, but you know, the bill that we're debating here and the bill that we've debated for what seems like 2 years now, I think is a very small component of what we really should be talking about in South Carolina and what has been kind of this scab that we've picked off ever since the VC summer failure of that nuclear failure, which I still believe really holds the biggest solution for much of our energy generation problems going forward. I think nuclear is the answer for a lot of reasons. Now I understand the hesitancy of many to travel down that road again, but I think it still probably will prove to be the biggest solution for us moving forward. But nevertheless, what we have to get to ultimately is we have to have a policy, an energy policy in South Carolina that we're going to follow. And I just don't think we have that yet. We've done a lot of talking. We've passed a lot of bills. We've passed pieces of legislation, piecemeal legislation that I think we've tried to move down the road of an energy policy. We've created things. We've hung ornaments on a tree from time to time, but I don't think we've really coalesced around what we will ultimately describe as what South Carolina is moving forward of what we believe our energy generation is going to be moving forward, and what ultimately does that encompass? And I think what that does is how do we ensure our energy security and grid reliability? That's got to be a component of our energy policy. How do we promote economic growth and job creation as part of that? How do we protect our natural resources? And the beauty is what we have come to love in South Carolina and adore in South Carolina, and what people are moving to here to enjoy. How do we keep that energy affordable and reliable? How do we streamline regulation and foster innovation? I think that's something that the senator from Horry has talked about over and over again. New types of energy. Senator from Beaufort talks about that a lot. Whether it's renewables, whether it is small modular reactors, whatever that new technology, South Carolina can be on the front lines. I think we've talked about many times the new startup at VC Summer, companies that are looking for opportunities with new technologies. Those things I think we have to embrace. Building storm and infrastructure resilience. I mean, we see it over and over again as storms rip through and challenges that our utilities face. That's got to be part of the discussions. Engaging the public and stakeholders, and then ultimately deciding who is going to drive our policy. Is it going to be South Carolina? Is it going to be us? Or is it going to be the utilities? Or is it going to be a combination of the two? Those are the things that we have to decide, and those are the components of a policy. And those are the things that I think over and over again we fail to do. And we dive into the small pieces. The big pieces, I mean, certainly building a new generation of Planet Kennedys, a pipeline, those are big things. They cost a lot of money. They directly affect Fred and Ethel that we talk about every day. Those are big things, but they're a small component of the overall policy. And until we get our arms around what our ultimate policy is going to be, I think we're always going to be chasing that car. So I hope at the end of the day, while we deal with this bill and with this issue, that I hope we keep striving for trying to come up with that ultimate policy that South Carolina is ultimately going to land upon, that touches on all the things that I've addressed, that Senator from Beaufort has said over and over again that we've got to get to, that we've got to blend in and make sure that as we take up these bills one by one, that we're not taking them up one off, but they actually blend into an overall policy, that at the end of the day, all these pieces work together and don't fight each other, and we don't wake up one day and we face another VC summer failure or another challenge that we're saying, man, I wish we hadn't have done that, or wish we hadn't have put that component into our plan because it just doesn't fit what our overall objective was going to be.
Senator from Beaufort, what purpose do you ask?
If the senator would yield for some questions.
Senator, yield for questions. Senator
Certainly.
yields for questions.
Senator, your thoughts are well made. And did you know that it always gives me a little bit discomfort when we talk about a government plan for something? Because I'm sort of like Friedrich Hayek when it comes to that with fatal conceit, thinking that, we as legislators can anticipate everything that's going to happen, the knowledge problem, all of those factors. And did you know that in my way of thinking about what a responsible energy plan is for our state is to allow, to the extent that we can, innovations to occur and new technologies to be brought online, and that we don't have artificial constraints that force us into prior decisions made. So as we go forward and as we say, okay, there's certain things we need to do to address baseline power needs, we need to be mindful, in my opinion, of adopting a policy, quote unquote, that allows markets to work, that allows new technologies to come online, that allows private companies to absorb more of the risk and the cost. And so, to me, that's a central part of what a good plan looks like, is flexibility and the ability to adapt over time.
Absolutely, absolutely, Senator. If I gave the impression that I thought that we should develop some sort of rigid box that everything should fit into, that's not at all what I intended. My point is just that we should have a vision in place of where we're headed, but absolutely we have to be flexible because we know technologies change, and we have to be adaptable and ready for those challenges. So thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator from Dorchester. Senator from